Sourdough bread seems to have stolen the limelight for some time now. While I'm the first to reach for a slice of sourdough with the crusty outside and the pale inside, I've started to turn my taste elsewhere. Hi, Misty. Back to the Humble Oat. To the whole wheat seed loaf. Hi, and welcome to my channel, Lindy Loves Life. I like to simplify things, and today I'm going to show you 2 baking recipes made with oats that are nutritious, delicious, and easy to make. Now, this isn't a competition. We can still enjoy sourdough and whole wheat bread. Sourdough has probiotics good for the gut, and whole wheat bread with all the seeds and the oats that I'm going to show you today found in the bread and cookies that I am making. I'm going to use 2 types of oats today in our recipes. First of all, we have the original small oat and we have the larger flaked oat. So I'm going to use the larger flakes in our whole wheat bread, and I'm going to use the smaller flakes in our oatmeal cookie. I usually bake the bread and cookies on the same day, as I use the same oven temperature, so I save on electricity and time. Let's get started. The first thing we need to do is switch on the oven. We're looking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. I use this baking tin for our loaf of whole wheat Cape seed loaf, as I find it's just the right size and it's a nice double layered tin. Place a piece of butter into the tin. We're going to pop this in the oven and melt the butter. First reason we're doing that is to grease the baking tin. And the second reason is we're going to heat up the tin, so when we put the batter of the bread into it with the yeast, it's going to immediately start activating. Into the bowl, we're going to put 3 cups of whole wheat bread flour. A handful of oats. Handful of sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, another handful of poppy seeds, and a handful of sesame seeds. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of salt. We're going to put in a packet of traditional dry yeast, 8 grams, and a tablespoon of honey. A tablespoon of olive oil, Kalamata olive oil. I've just bought in Kalamata in Greece. Add our 2 cups of warm water and give it a good stir. This dough is too dry. I have discovered that when making this bread in winter, the dough requires more water. I'm adding an additional half a cup of water. In total, I have added 2.5 cups of water to the dough in order to get this consistency. I'm going to grease our baking tin with some melted butter. Put the batter into the tin. Once you've smoothed it out a little bit, we're going to decorate the top. This is where you can get creative and do your own style. I do a very simple style using my sunflower seeds. I just put them down the center. Don't put too many because when it cooks, they will just fall off, the ones that don't attach. Then I do one side with a little bit of poppy seeds and the other side with sesame seeds. So we're now going to put it in a warm place. I usually leave it next to the oven, and we're going to let it rise. It'll take about 35 minutes to rise to the top of the pan. Now we're going to move on to the oat crunchies. These oat cookies are packed with energy, which are also called crunchies. and can be enjoyed throughout the day. Begin by placing 170 grams of butter into our pot. And then we're going to put in 2 heaped tablespoons of golden syrup. It is important to use golden syrup, not maple or honey. This is what you're going to be needing. Here we have 2 cups of the small oats, 1 cup of the unsweetened coconut, 1 cup of the white all-purpose flour, 1 cup of sugar. You can use brown sugar, I just didn't have any at the time, a teaspoon of salt, and we'll just give that a nice mix. So now that the bread has risen to the top of the tin, we're ready to put it into the oven. It's going to bake there for an hour and a quarter. Let's continue with the crunchies. In your pot, melt the butter and golden syrup on a low heat. Bring the butter and golden syrup to a boil. Add the bicarbonate of soda, which will make the mixture froth up. Remove from the heat and add the hot liquid to the dry ingredients. Mix the dry and wet ingredients together well, making sure the butter combines with all the oats. Cover the baking sheet with parchment paper. This makes it easier to clean the tin later, and the cookies do not stick to the sheet. Place the mixture on the tray. Make sure the mixture reaches to all 4 corners of the tin and pat down firmly. You can use a fork to press the mixture down. And of course, your best implement is your hands. So the bread is ready to come out of the oven. And we can now put the crunchies straight in for 12 minutes. So the bread looks really good. We're just going to loosen it slightly. Then once it's cool, we can slice it. And what is particularly sentimental about this bread is it's my sister Kathy's regular go-to bread. So we call it Kathy's Cape Seed Loaf. And the crunchies are in fact my late mother-in-law's crunchies that she made on a regular basis. So I make both of these, which I keep in the house, and my family love it. Now we remove the crunchies from the oven, and we need to cut them before they cool down. So let's cut this bread and see what it looks like inside. You can see the seeds going through. It's lovely and moist, and it's also very solid bread. This seed loaf bread is best eaten in the first 2 days. Leftover bread can be sliced and frozen. It is delicious toasted. I hope you enjoyed watching me make my 2 favorite oat baked recipes. My name is Lindy, and thank you for watching. Take care and bye.